So the first tip I would like to share with you is to apply for as many jobs as possible. So the reason why I'm saying this is the type of job you are actually applying for is the same job people are applying from all over the world. So you can't just put all your eggs in one basket and apply for one and then hope to get feedback. So if, for instance, you have an experience in accident and emergency or intensive care unit, I would advise not for you to limit yourself to applying for jobs in those areas alone. At least broaden your scope by applying to jobs in general medical, general surgery as well. So the more you put in applications, the more you are likely to get one. So one thing you need to bear in mind is that people from all over the world will be applying for the same kind of job. So what will make your application stand out for them to even call you? You applying for the job is just the first step, and calling you for an interview is a different thing altogether. So what will make your application stand out is by writing a good supporting statement. What I mean by a supporting statement is like a cover letter. In any job application, there is a portion where you have to write everything about the experience you have and how that experience you have is applicable to the job you are applying for. So for instance, if you're applying for a job as a band 5 accident and emergency nurse, obviously this is where you have to write a good supporting statement to tell them about the experience you've had, the number of years experience, the trainings you've had, any promotions you've had, anything that will sell you out to the employer to make your application exceptional in order to be called for the interview. So there is a whole list of applications they receive. So once they highlight one important thing from your supporting statement that makes you stand out, immediately they will pick you up for interview. So don't just write anything that is not even in relation to the job you're applying for. Once you get to the job you're applying, open the person specification. There is something called person specification. So open that and see how what they are looking for matches with your experience, and always write it along the points listed in the person specification so that they will know that indeed this is what we are looking for and you are actually the one they are looking for. This will make them actually consider you and call you for interview. So the third point I would like to discuss is don't limit yourself to just jobs in one particular area of UK alone. We have England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, but some people have this mindset of I'm going to England or nowhere else. It's Northern Ireland or nowhere else. I think you doing that will actually limit your chances of getting a job, because there are so many parts of UK that you might think, oh, I don't really like living in this area, but you end up here and you realize you might even like it. So don't limit yourself to just maybe applying for jobs in London alone, because bear in mind, London can be very, very expensive, although the salaries may be a bit high compared to other parts of UK. So just broaden your scope, apply to jobs. Even in England, apply to jobs in North England, South England, South East, Southwest, in Northern Ireland. Just throw in the applications all over all over UK, and the more you do that, the more you actually increases your chances of getting a job. I will not say apply for 1, 2, or 3 or 5 jobs. No, just apply to so many jobs in so many areas, because you never know where you might get an offer from. So that is one important point to note. One important thing to consider when you're applying for the job is the deadline. Once you go through the jobs, you see at the bottom there is always a deadline, and I would advise you not to pick for or look out for jobs that has a deadline very, very far. So for instance, if you see a job, now we are in July, so if you see a job with a deadline somewhere in December, you're actually going to wait for long, because if you are going to wait until December before they start screening the applications and call people for interview, that means you're going to wait up until December or even beyond. So considering seeing a job with the deadline being September and December, I would advise you to apply for the job that has September as the deadline, so that at least you know that within the next 3 or 4 months you are like expecting something other than leaving it open up until December. And also one thing is, most employers will advertise for the job and they tell you the deadline is in December, but then sometimes once they get the number of people they are looking for, they can close the applications. So just look at the deadline and consider applying for jobs with a shorter deadline, so that you don't end up staying at home for a very long time waiting for employers to get back to you. It rather increases your frustration. We don't want that. So we just keep applying for as many jobs as possible, bearing in mind the deadline to these applications. Last point I would like to talk about is signing up for job alerts. So once you apply for a job with NHS websites or with track jobs, it doesn't end there. You just have to keep on applying until you get the job you are looking for. And how do you know if there are other jobs elsewhere? Unless you subscribe to their job alert, so that whenever there is a new vacancy, you will get notified. So normally at the bottom of each website, you will see sign up for newsletters or something like that. Put in your email address on those search engines when you are looking for the job, so that if there is any new job, definitely the website, the employers will put it on those websites, and definitely automatically you get a notification once there is a new job. So I still have my notification for NHS website still active, and I keep on receiving notifications day in, day out. So once in a while, you just go through and see what's new, and if something interests you, you apply. So don't limit yourself to the ones you've only applied and not look elsewhere. No, just keep on subscribing. You can also subscribe to Indeed.com, trackjobs.com, as well as the NHS I've just mentioned, so that you get notified of so many other job opportunities in various specialties, just to broaden your scope of getting a job. This tips I've shared with you has been very, very useful, and I hope it's going to help you increase your chances, because I really want you all to come here. I really want you all to fulfill that dream of migrating to the UK. That is the purpose of this channel, to encourage everybody out there. And now that this WHO thing has come, it's making things more difficult for people, and I'm here to help as much as possible, and I believe these tips will help you in your job search. So if you found this useful, please share with others, because I believe most people are also frustrated out there, not really knowing what to do. Most people have applied to so many jobs and they are not getting any feedback. So please share with other people and subscribe to this channel. Thank you all so much for those who have supported this channel up till now. Keep on supporting us, keep on sharing with others, and see you in my next video. Bye.